guys, we have a special guest.
Gaius. There she go. Okay, I ain't gonna do that.
She said Gaius. We got a special Gaius today.
Hey, y'all. Yeah.
Today, my girl Leah. Hi, Leah.
Hello, hello. So let me ask y'all this: what is you all's definition of depression or anxiety, and how does it make your body feel?
Well, for me, I can speak on anxiety because I do have anxiety, and for me, anxiety is just the fear of the unknown. Really, for me, I get anxiety really bad. Well, first of all, around people, because social anxiety, and that's why I come off so quiet and stuff, because it's just the fear of unknown, like fear of what's to come, basically, and not knowing what's next, or not having the control of knowing what's next or what's to come. And that's applies to any situations. For instance, if I'm going to dinner, say for instance Leah had a birthday dinner and I don't know all of her friends, I have anxiety on my way there because it's like I don't know who's gonna be there, I don't know what they're gonna be talking about, I don't know the vibe, I don't know the atmosphere, you know. And even with life too, like I'll be thinking like I got all these things I want to do in my life, but I don't know how I'm gonna get there, I don't know how it's gonna work, you know, and that gives me anxiety too.
Yeah, I can piggyback off of that too. Like anxiety is definitely like fear of the unknown, fear of like, I guess, I don't know, fear of just like going into a situation and being uncomfortable, or like, for example, me. I know, so like I like to smoke, y'all. I like to smoke weed, and I know that like I do, and I feel like as I get older, have had to like cut back on like not only how much I smoke, but like the situations that I smoke in. Like I was in a club in Atlanta last year, and y'all, like in Atlanta, like they don't give a fuck. Like
baby, light it up,
yes, like in Atlanta they're gonna do what they want when they want. But like we're in a club, and you know I can drink. Like I'm a social drinker. I can drink and be fine. But like as soon as they handed me the blunt, I just nervous. I turned into a mute. Like I turned into a mute. Like I just, and you know, like that's not me. Like I like to talk. So you know, I can't smoke before I go out. I can't smoke before I'm about to do something for the first time. Like all those things like make me super anxious, and like I start feeling like, I don't know, like another example. I had an ex that when we broke up a few years ago, I couldn't understand why, like months following our breakup, I said probably like within 2 months of our breakup, the smallest things would make me so anxious. Like the only thing I could think of was like, it's just like, I guess me mentally still dealing with like the breakup. But I remember one time, y'all, I got an email from a client about something that I think I hadn't like even started on, and they were asking like, what's the status of it? And boy, when I tell y'all, that's not even something that like should make anybody nervous, but like I read the email and immediately my chest, like to answer your body question, like my chest started feeling like heavy. Like I started feeling like I couldn't breathe. Like I had to go outside, y'all, and get some fresh air and like hold on to something, because I really felt
that's
like
exactly
I
how
was
your
gonna
body makes
pass
you
out.
feel. Like your body gets so tense and tight, and you just, you feel it everywhere. Like I can feel a little bit anxious now because I tell you all the time, like being in front of this camera is so nerve-wracking to me. So like even now I feel it's not like to the point where I can't breathe, but my body does feel a little bit anxious being in front of the camera because that's just what anxiety does to you.
And you feel it in, like for me, I feel it in my back a lot.
My neck.
Yes, like body just aching. So.
Sorry. Yeah.
And I can talk about depression too.
Literally
my song. But I feel like depression makes you feel like that's actually I feel like it makes everybody feel differently because I have had my struggles with depression like really, really bad in college. Really from like I say like high school to like the end of college, like that summer we graduated. I was very depressed, and for me, like I'm not the type of person that is going to, I guess, like I can be mopey for sure. Like I can be mopey, but like I'm not the person that's like gonna be shut in or like don't want to do nothing or like, you know what I'm saying? Like so when I was struggling really bad with it, some days like I did have moments where like, you know, I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to like, you know, be by myself, be in my room. But for me, it just made me feel helpless. Like I couldn't get a grip on nothing, you know?
So you going back to saying that you realized that from high school to the end of college that you were depressed. How did you know that you were depressed in high school, and was there like a difference when you were in college? Like how did you feel? Like how did you know to call it depression?
Yeah. I feel like it was always the same for me in high school versus college, but college it just got amplified. Because we're older, you know, you're dealing with like different situations than you are in high school. But like I guess for me, I didn't feel happy. Like I was never happy. Like my depression stemmed from the feelings that I had about myself physically. Like I thought, y'all, and it's crazy, it's crazy like looking back on it, but like I really thought I was extremely unattractive. Like so ugly. Like I used to like talk down on myself. I remember like writing notes to myself, like hate notes to myself.
Wow.
Literally, yes, like hate notes to myself, like, you know, I'm a Leo, and Leos are just we are
still the same one and my mama one. I understand.
I feel that though. I feel that though, because growing up, my mama used to be like, "There you go in that mirror again." Like I used to be in the mirror 24/7.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's a Leo thing or what.
It is.
But like, because I mean, I know we could be full of ourselves sometimes, you know. But I was just back then. I used to think like I was fine. You couldn't tell me nothing, you know. And I didn't really experience depression until after my son. When I experienced postpartum depression, and it goes back to what you said, is like your depression came from how you felt about yourself. It was really, really hard, and I still struggle to this day to, you know, love my new body after having my son. So for a while it felt like a dark cloud over you because you just did not love yourself. Like it just was, you was just sad, and you was like, I don't know why I'm so sad, but it's because, you know, I was struggling with my image of myself. So that's when my depression came in too. So I can really relate to that for real.
Man, that dark cloud though,
like
that is
it's
real.
So heavy.
It's just a feeling of just like, oh, like I cannot pick myself up. Like I don't know what it is. Like I don't, and I know for me, like the way I came out of my depression, like it took some really, like I had to hit rock bottom.
No, you
like,
had to.
I had to hit rock bottom. Like so, I had to have some things happen to me that like I never thought I would go through. And after that, like, it was just like, okay, Leah, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can sit here and let these things, like, affect you, you know?
It is a choice.
Yeah, or you can, like, pick yourself up and, like, you know, get your shit together, you know?
Seriously.
Like, it just comes to a point where you just like, boy, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
You gotta be sick of your own shit for you to really pull yourself out of the dark hole. I can just remember, back in 2016 when I first consciously went through my first episode of me being depressed. Maybe That was the darkest hole I've ever been in my life. Like, I'm the type of person when I'm going through things, because I just know how strong my aura is, I don't like to be around people, because if I'm down, I'm going to bring the people around me down. That's just how it is. I just know me. So when I was going through what I was going through in 2016, I really just tried my best to stay away from people, because I just felt like it was nothing that anybody could do for my situation. It was going to be me that needs to get myself out of it. And I don't know, I just mentally kept replaying the same situation over and over and over again in my head every day, to where I just know I was digging myself into a deeper hole.
Yeah.
So now when it comes to me being sad or down or whatever the case is, I try my best to, I'll say, like I told you earlier, Leah, I'll let the emotion come and then I'll let it leave, because me going down that deep hole, I literally almost took my life. Like, I was that sad. I wanted to kill myself. Like, to be that sad and not know what to do about it. I don't know, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I felt like this was the time to where I first started journaling. Like, that till this day is my saving grace. I journaled my life away. Like, y'all, I literally don't have any words. I'm smiling now, but that shit was sad.
Yeah.
Like, a bitch was sad as hell. Like,
yeah.
I was really, really sad, and nobody knew behind closed doors. Like, to go out of your home every day and to smile and to act as if things are okay, but to come home and to cry yourself to sleep every day.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. It's not worth it.
And depression is circumstantial too, because you can have everything in the world. You know, you can have everything in the world that you ever want, but it just takes that one thing to just not go right, and you just don't, like, it could be like, for example, for me, you know what I'm saying, like, I have to self-reflect. That's what helps me, like, to think about where I was a couple years ago and where I am now, because I can remember being where I am right now, praying for this a couple years ago. You get what I'm saying? Like, praying for the money that I have, praying for the roof over my head that I have, you know, praying for the car. Like, even in college, you know, I used to drive my little gold Camry. The Camry was the same age as me. and it humbled me, I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, I used to just be praying for a new car and be so sad. Don't even want to go nowhere because I gotta drive this little hoopty. You know, and it just be the smallest little things that will put you in a depression. And it's just like, to pull yourself out of that, mine was reflection. Okay, well, before I had this hoopty, I didn't have no car. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what helped me be like, okay, so what am I going to do about it? And then you have to work towards those goals. But that's what stops people when they stay stuck in that wishing they had something or wishing something this was what, instead of getting
focusing
up
on what you got right now.
What you got right now, and getting up and going and changing the situation.
Yeah, but you gotta have that want to do that, and I think that's where like I got hung up on with my depression, was just like, it's not that I didn't want better for myself. Like, you know, I definitely wanted to elevate and like get myself out of the situation, but like you said, Key, like, damn, like, to be that sad and not know how to fix it, like, I gotta fix that first before I can even do any of this other stuff, you know? And so, like, I just thank God every day, because man, to be that sad, like, that is not anything that
I'm smiling,
anybody.
but that shit ain't funny.
It's not.
It's honestly not funny. Like, this was the year I got so sad, I lost my faith in everything. It was no God. It was no nothing. Baby, I was that down and out. I just knew, if I'm this sad and I'm this low, it ain't no way it's a God. God ain't gonna let me be this sad. There's no way I'm gonna kill myself. Like, that's literally what was going on.
Because what's the purpose?
No, it was no purpose to me. For real, literally, it was no purpose. If I'm gonna be this sad and crying every day, I don't wanna be here. Like,
same.
The way that depression makes my body feel, I don't even like to, I'm not even gonna own the word of me being depressed or me having anxiety, because I don't like giving the words power. I just feel as if I give myself those titles, I'm saying that they have ownership over me, so I don't like doing that now. Now, I know that I have my episodes to where I will slip back into dark times, and I'm going to just call it that. Now, as far as me having anxiety, I still do have anxiety attacks. I know what I be having because my heart beats really, really fast and hard, and my breathing picks up. Now, with that, I know that I have my anxiety attacks when it comes to a situation and I cannot figure out the solution. I will think myself into an anxiety attack because I'm the type of person that if I have a problem, I have to be the solution to it. I have to be the solution to it. I have to be the solution to it. And if I can't figure that out, I'm freaking the freak out. Like, I'm going crazy. Like, I realize I'm gonna have them kind of anxiety attacks for real. Now with depression, in the past, it's just made me feel really, really sad. I'm just crying, like I keep saying, and just dark, and like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. Like I feel like I'm in a box and I can't go anywhere. That's how depression makes me feel. Like I just feel low. Like I feel like I'm in the lowest vibration that I can possibly be in.
I know. Yeah, I know when I go into those depressive, because I still have my episodes, but they are very, very short-lived now because I recognize them and I'm making myself
very short.
And so for me, it'd be like, I'm gonna be honest, like I don't want to clean up, because you know me, I love clean house, baby. I don't play. But when I found myself in that episode, it's like I don't want to clean up. I got dishes in the sink, clothes everywhere.
Daily duties can't.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like you
don't want. That's when you need to do it for real. And then I just want to lay in the bed, like I want to chill. I don't want to be around any people. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. Like you get to the point where you don't even want to get up and wash your face, brush your teeth, and shower. Like that's how it get to me, and I'll be like, yeah, let me go get up. Let me just, and I pick up that first piece of clothing off the bed or off the floor, and I'm boom right there. Because it's just like, okay, I gotta get it together. I gotta get my life together. And that's how I recognize my depression now, and it helps me get through it. Because for me, like I said, it's more so of reflecting. Like I literally have to consciously wake up every day and tell myself that you're gonna have a good day. And this is the mindset that we're gonna have. I write out lists and give myself to-do lists every day. Like even if it's something small, like make sure you put the shoes in the closet, or make sure you wash your clothes today, or hit the gym for 30 minutes today, or do your meal prep today, or go sign these papers and turn them into Zen school today or something, just little
some kind of routine.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I feel like I've accomplished something and I didn't waste my day.
Yeah, and you feel productive. Like another thing for me, I'm really good at like going down a rabbit hole. So like if I have one negative thought, and this was really, really bad, like back when I was really sad, like it would just take one negative thought,
domino
like,
effect.
and then from there, I'm just sad as hell. Like, it could be the smallest thing. Like, I don't like my hair today. And then back then, when I thought I was unattractive, it was, I don't like my hair today. Well, of course, your hair is ugly because look at you. And then it was just, it's like, what is that? Like, you go from I don't like my hair to, of course, because you're unattractive. Like, that is insane. Yeah. Like, because even on my worst day, I'm still fine.
Hello.
So like, you can't tell me. It don't take nothing but just a little sprucing up. But like, but it's like it's so hard to like get yourself out of that slippery slope. At least for me. And so, but it's a lot easier now. Like now, I'm very good with self-talk. I'm very good at like picking myself up because like I can't. I just think back then and I'm like, I absolutely cannot go back then.
You can't afford to lose yourself.
And that's what I was gonna say. You took the right words right out of my mouth. It's like I feel like I have so much more to lose now than I did back then.
You value yourself more now.
It's like it's like the way that people treat me, the way that I allow them to treat me.
That part.
Is a lot different than like the stuff that I would put up back then because like you said, value. Like you're just not gonna treat me any old way.
No,
that's just not gonna fly. It's just not. Like
I'm gonna go back to what Jakia said about you having to make a to-do list and a schedule every day. Waking up and having a routine is one of the best decisions that I could have possibly did. I try my best to wake up every day and I say my daily self-love affirmations in the mirror. I have to. I have even taken it upon myself. It mentally helps me to write my affirmations on my mirror in my bathroom because I don't see myself every day, so it's just the best place for me to put them. So yeah, having a routine and saying my daily affirmations, start my day off great and keep my mental like in a better organized. How do you all cater to yourself to make sure that your mental stays like intact?
That's kind of what we were searching on.
Yeah.
For me, what helps with my anxiety, because the depression is not so much the harder part to me. It's definitely have evolved since I had my son. For me, it's the anxiety. And like I said, writing down those lists every day and getting the stuff out of my head, because I used to try to keep everything in my head, like, oh, I need to do this and do this and do this and do this and do this. And it would just like make me so anxious throughout the day because I feel like I always have so much to do. So writing down that list and checking them off throughout the day makes me feel accomplished, and it brings my heart rate and my anxiety down. At the end of the day, I'm just like, ooh, okay, I can relax because I got stuff done. So that's one thing that helps me. And honestly, the positive self-talk, the reflecting, I reflect almost every day, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I spend a lot of time alone because I like my alone time. Like, I like my space. That's how I rejuvenate. And when in those times, like I tell Keandra all the time, I talk to myself. Like, I literally sit in my bed and talk to myself just like this, or in the mirror and just talk to myself about, like, asking myself, like, okay, how am I feeling today, and why am I feeling that way?
Well, for me, the way I keep my mental in check is just like, honestly, like, I have to pour into myself. Like, I have to take care of myself. Like working out is super big for me. Like, super big for me. Like, after y'all know how we are as women. Like, after we break up with somebody, we like, period. It's back to business. Like, back on me. You feel me? And like, honestly, like 2 years ago during the pandemic, I feel like that was a time of, for me, like, self-discovery. Like, okay, we sit in this house, it's not nothing to do. Like, I can either sit here and, like, you know, stuff my face and like sit around and not do nothing, or I can like try to get this weight off of me and like just feel good and be healthy. And like, ever since I started that, like, I can't stop. Like, I'm definitely not as committed as I used to be, but like, you don't have to be, you know.
No, you don't.
Like, you have to just have some sort of routine to make sure that, you know, you're taking care of yourself physically. Because like, for me, like, I like working out in the morning, because work out in the morning, get it over with, and I feel amazing for the rest of the day. And like, my head is clear, like, I'm able to make, you know, better decisions, and just function better. So definitely working out, eating really good. Like, I love to eat. Like, I love food, y'all. Like, cooking for me, even though yes, and I haven't eaten anything today. Like, I'm starving, but like, but I do enjoy like cooking myself like a nutritious meal. You know, drinking my water. Like, just honestly pouring into myself and like setting goals for myself really helps me feel like I'm doing good. Like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, as long as I'm like not stagnant, like, being stagnant makes me really depressed, because like, it starts as a, like you said, a reflection thing. Well, what am I doing? Like, I'm just living life, I'm not like accomplishing anything. And y'all know, social media makes everything worse. Like, if you're not doing anything, seeing other people that are doing stuff, like, we're not supposed to compare ourselves to nobody, but we all do it, like, whatever. It's really hard when you see other people doing stuff that like you want to do, or even stuff you don't want to do. Just they make it moves, you know. It's like, dang, what am I doing? So like, you know, about 2 months ago, I said, Leah, you gotta get it together.
It's like, the third person for me.
You gotta get it together. Like, you know, like I said, I'm not sad, you know, I'm not depressed or anything right now, but like, you know, there were some areas that like I was unhappy in, and I said, wow, like, nothing's gonna change unless I change it, and I'm not gonna let myself go down a rabbit hole, right? So I have a thing of like, also like another thing I do to keep myself mentally in check, because this is something that will give me anxiety. I have to focus on one thing at a time. Like, multitasking, y'all, is not real. I don't know who told y'all it was real, but like, if you think you're doing two things at one time, you're really splitting your mental capacity between those two things. And those two things aren't getting done as efficiently as they would if you were just focusing on one thing at a time. I am a creative person. I'm a project manager by trade, so I'm always like working on something. Like, well, I got this idea, I want to do this. So I got this, like, I want to do, you know. And it's like none of it was getting done because I was trying to split my time between everything. So I said, okay, first let me get a new job. Check, new job. I own a brand called Potted Peace, and it's a plant experiential, like, event company. So we do workshops, we do you know, bigger events, like we do a lot of stuff. And I said I need to really, like, take that to the next level. So being, you know, getting bookings, like getting my name out there, getting my face, my business out there, check. And now I can focus on, like, you know, the next step, which is like, of course, generating more income, but just like pouring more into myself, like, spiritually. Like, I guess what I'm saying is I can't focus on all those things at one time, because that makes me just go crazy. And then nothing gets done.
And that's me. That's so funny, because last week I had texted Keandra and was like, girl, I'm just having a mental block right now. Like, nothing, like, it's too much. Like, it's just, you know, I'm a full-time braid stylist, so I do that full-time every day. And then we have 2 or 3 podcasts, and I'm also working on dropping my blog. And then on top of being a mom and taking care of my body and my health and everything that's going on with me, you know, it was just a lot. And I told her, I said, girl, I'm struggling. Like, I'm having a creative block. Like, it's just, it's a lot.
Too much on my plate.
It was too much going on. So I definitely get that. And I did have to I have been taking a step back from my blog and working a lot on 2 or 3 podcasts, because this is out, you know what I'm saying? But my blog is still in the work, and I can release it whenever. It is almost ready though, just to put that in. But, you know, I don't work on it as much as I did first starting out, because, hey, it comes when it comes.
Yeah. And another thing is going back to, like, my brand Potted Peace. Like, I find a lot of comfort in plants. Like, I find a lot of comfort. Like,
I remember the last time you came to my house, you said, girl, we got to get rid of all these fake plants.
I know,
Yeah.
like, I'm looking around, I don't see nothing real. Like, I'm just like,
I almost bought a plant this morning, but I did it because they look like I was dying.
listen,
I love plants.
I'm not a plant person. They're going to die. Like,
Okay,
I'm
but
not
okay,
even
but
gonna
you
waste
love
time
them
like
and talk
this.
to
but you know what though? You know that about yourself.
Yeah.
And I tell people, don't get stuff just because you think it's gonna hit. If you know, like, that you're not gonna do something, like, just don't waste your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I love plants. Like, it's something about, I think, and this is something that I talk about a lot in my workshops, is like, plants are a direct correlation of your mental health, literally. Like, because they can't talk to you, they can tell you, like, when something is wrong, but you have to be paying attention to know that something is wrong, just like you have to be paying attention to yourself, like you said, like, to know that something's wrong. Like, I caught COVID back in September, and I, for those 2 weeks, could barely take care of myself. So my plants, like, started just deteriorating. And then it took me a whole nother 2 weeks after I, you know, recovered to just honestly get back on your feet. It took me a whole month to, like, go through COVID and, like, get past it and feel like I can get back to normal life. And my plants during that whole month just looked crazy. Like, you know, but like the moments when I am doing really good and like I'm planning to myself, I'm like, let me just, you feel me? Let me take care of you, and like they are thriving. So yeah, that's just, I always tell people, like, find a hobby, like something that you enjoy, something that, like, I mean, because of course, like, I monetize on my love of plants, but it didn't start off like that. Like, I feel like a lot of times people like start stuff just to make money, and then you get burnt out, and then your mental health takes another hit because you done added this onto your plate, and you don't even like this.
Now you gotta keep up the demand for it.
Exactly. So
exactly. The reasons why a lot of stuff didn't.
I love that for y'all though. Yeah. More power to everybody who can take care of plants and keep them things alive, baby. But not me. Them plants, I'll walk out of them plants and not even better eyes. Like, they'll be so dead. Like, I know that though. That's why I love my fake plants. They still alive.
Collecting dust.
They still alive. They still thriving.
Plastic and all.
Plastic and all, like cute little vase and everything.
What I was gonna say. So a few things that I have learned to do for my mental is I love to paint. Like painting is like the best thing for my mental at this point because it makes me feel like I'm a kid again. And I can actually draw, y'all. I didn't know that, but I can draw. Meditating.
Yeah.
Like being really so I'm not the quiet meditating type of person. I can't do that. I don't like to be quiet. I just don't like that. So I meditate to music. Sometimes I listen to nature sounds and stuff, but most times I'm not gonna lie to you, I like R&B music. It's different for everybody, but that is what I like to meditate to.
Yes, for sure. Me too.
And like I was saying earlier, but I love me good R&B, 90s.
But that works for you though. Like I love that because like I feel like most people would be like trying to be like I'm one of those people. I'm like I can't meditate to R&B. Like that's not meditation music. Like trying to stick within the construct, but like that's what's working for you. So I commend you for that.
Soulful. I don't know. It's just it can't be like none of that hard rap or nothing like that. I can't listen to that. It just has to be like some music that is meaningful, but it's soul-filled music for sure. I love to eat, so me cooking a good meal is another thing that I can say adds to me catering to my mental and taking long baths. I love a good bubble bath.
The things that I use to cater to my mental health is listening to music. I like to dance. I like to laugh, smile, and stuff. So I turn on me some 90s R&B, baby. I be in here like, hey, that's my jam. I be like, girl, that's I love 90s R&B music. Another thing that I like is going to stores like at home. Like I love home decor. Like I love DIY and home decor. So like these pictures y'all can't see them right now, but the pictures that me and Keandra made, like I really enjoyed our time when we did that. Like I loved it. It was so much fun. And I like to do stuff like that. Like home decor with my fake plants. Cause I was talking about my fake plants.
Keep on
playing. Yes, cause I love my fake plants. But anyway.
She said, I'm looking around now.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of cooking though. I do not like to cook. I used to like to cook. It died. Yep. Let me see.
I'll fit it to y'all.
Yeah.
I do have one question.
Go ahead.
So how have you all dealt with, so for me, like back in 2017, I just was taking hit after hit after hit, it seemed like, and took that final hit and just shut down completely. Said, I don't want to talk to nobody who I don't have to talk to, I don't want to talk to them. And that's exactly what happened. And because of that, I lost a lot of my friends. Yes, a lot of my friends. But the thing is, I was never like, I can't believe they're not talking to me. Like, I fully understood why, but I regretted the way I guess I went about it. Like I should have just said like, hey guys, I'm really going through a lot right now, and I know y'all are probably concerned, but like, I'll check in periodically, but like I just need time for myself. I didn't do that.
So were they reaching out to you?
At first, but I think I was one of those people who like constantly talked about how sad I was. And was like bringing down like the party all the time. And so I think it was one of those things where it's like, we gonna reach out, but girl, we tired, we tired. And so my question is, for real, but I couldn't be mad at them.
It's not funny.
We tired
for real. Damn. But I couldn't be mad at them because I fully understood why they were not speaking to me. So my question is, have you all ever had to distance yourself from a person because they were, in their space and like you tried to help them, but it just seems like they're not trying to help themselves? Like, how did you all deal with that?
I personally have. I've been on both ends of the spectrum when it comes to this. So having to distance myself from someone who can't clearly see their life from my perspective is hard because it came to a time to where it was history between us. So it was like, do I want to let go of the friendship because of the history, or am I more so worried about the peace that I've made with myself and how my mind feels? It's hard because I'm still cool with this person. It was just, I would have to take my time periods not talking to the person, because I'm the type of person, if I get around someone and you're going through something, I will absorb that from you, and I will, not knowingly, but I'll be in the same space mentally that you are at that moment. So for me, I separate myself from whoever the person is for a little while, and I come back. Now, I haven't completely separated myself from someone because of how their life was, but I've removed myself from someone because I was going through something and I didn't want to be that person to bring someone down. So it was me and my old best friend in 2016 when I was going through my first going down my first rabbit hole of depression. I would call my best friend every day and we would cry and sit on the phone every single day. It made me cry worse because now you crying because you got something going on, I got something going on. We're trauma bonding, you know? So 2017 came around and my mind revisited the same thing that 2016 had. So I'm crying again every day. I don't want to call this same friend being sad and stuff because you happy right now. I'm sad. So I'm going to remove myself, not telling you that's what I'm doing, but I'm going to remove myself because I don't want to fuck your mind up because I'm not good right now. I literally have to. So yeah, I lost a friend because I didn't communicate what was going on with me. But at that time, I didn't know how to communicate mentally when anything was wrong with me because I didn't mentally even know that something was wrong with me. I just knew that I wasn't feeling like myself. Right. So yeah.
And that's crazy because I said before how you don't really know that you're in it until you come out of it. And then when you come out of it, you be like, wow, or whatever. And
now though, I can recognize it.
Now, like I said, now you can recognize it. But the first time it happened, like I said, after my son, when I was going through postpartum depression, I really didn't know what was happening to me until after I came out of it. And I was like, wow. And now I can recognize it. But I've never had to, I've lost friends, but not in that stance. And it could have been something that she was going through, you know, but I don't know because we still haven't talked about it. It's been 3 years now. So I still haven't discussed what the issue was, and we still don't talk like that. So I don't know what it was that happened. It's just one day I looked up and 3 years passed away and we haven't talked to each other. Wow. So yeah, maybe one day we'll figure it out. But
yeah, and see, I'm the type of person like and this is something that I'm working on, but I have a really hard time being in, like, I like to always be the bright side. Like I don't like drama. I don't like feuds. I don't like arguments. I don't like none of that. And like the thing is, like, back in the day I had like severe anger problems, but that was because of what I now know. I was depressed, you know, and it, again, like I said earlier, like that comes out in so many different ways.
Girl, that's probably what was wrong with me.
Seriously,
I've been dragging folks and I'm probably mad.
Seriously, like
a
lot of times, one thing that I've learned is that like most times it's not for real. Most times when somebody is upset with you, it's a they problem, not a you problem. You mad unless you really did something, right? Like let's own up to our truths. But like a lot of times when people be upset and they be going off over stuff to be, it's just like, what's wrong with you? Like, you going through something, you know what I'm saying? But like I feel like I'm the type of person where like me not talking to one of my close friends for 3 years will like fuck me up. Like me not, if I fall out with a friend right now, it's gonna fuck me up. Like I'm just not a person that likes confrontation or being on people's bad sides. Even when I'm in the right, like I still feel like let's have a conversation, let's talk about it, because I don't like to be in this space because that affects me. Yeah, you know, and it's like, because I'm not a part of this what do you call it, this tough culture, right? This like this, you know, put on a face, but like really like if I feel something, like I'm gonna feel it, and I'm not the person that can like, you know, the saying like ain't gonna lose no sleep at night. No, baby, I'm losing sleep. That's just
well, see, I used to be like that. I used to be the one that like was the bigger person. Okay, let's hash this out and stuff like that. But over the years, I do feel like I've gotten a little tough and a little more hardened, because I feel like a lot of the time when it comes to friendships, like I have my own opinions on friendships and stuff like that, but I've always been the one that got messed over, I guess you could say. Like I used to always pour into my friendships and nobody was pouring back into me. So I became to a point where I reciprocate energy now. You know what I'm saying? If this is the energy you're giving me, this is the energy I'm gonna give you. You know, and in that situation, I don't feel like I was the one with the problem. So I felt like I shouldn't have been the one to hash it out. Like you said, if you have something that's wrong with you, then you know you're gonna voice it. Like, this is how I feel. But in this case, I didn't have a problem. It was like I said, I looked up and it was just like, dang, we really haven't talked to each other. So in that case, I feel like if she had the problem, she would come to me when she's ready to talk about the problem. And obviously, like I said, it's been 3 years. But so I mean, I'm not gonna say it didn't bother me, because in the beginning it very much so did. But now I think I've made peace with the situation. You know, it is what it is. Obviously, whatever the problem is, I guess I'll never know. Or when I do, you know, like whatever it is, I hope that she's found peace as well. And I hope that, you know, I wish her the best. That's all I can say about stuff like that. Like, I don't really hold that attachment to friendships anymore, because I know that different seasons of your life, everybody can't go. So maybe whatever season she was walking into, I wasn't supposed to go with her, you know? And I look at it like that. I don't take anything personal anymore. So I guess that's kind of how I look at friendships, and when it comes to, you know, controlling my mental health part of it that way, so I won't go down a hole like, this ain't really got nothing to do with me, you know?
So piggybacking off of what you said, that's interesting, because I feel like I lost, so during that time frame, I would say like 2017, yeah, like summer 2017, like right after graduation, like I went through something that's really just crazy. And after that, I feel like that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And I was like, you know what, like I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to just be by myself, and not even in a I'm sad, so, but like on some like, I really got some things I need to figure out. Like, I don't need outside like influences. I just need me and my thoughts to figure it out. And I could have communicated that, you know, in a better way and say, hey guys, like, you know, I'm in this space right now. I don't really want to communicate right now. I'll check in because I know y'all are concerned, but like, this is just where I'm at right now. I wish I would have done that, because maybe it would have turned out differently, but I'm a firm believer in like, things happen how they're supposed to happen. And me not talking to them, like, you know, I lost all of my friends that I was super close with at that time, and I didn't feel no way about it though. That's the thing. Like, not in a, oh, like I don't miss my friends, because I did, but like I wasn't like, I can't believe they're not talking to me. Like, I fully understood why, and like, hell, I even supported the decision. It's probably best if you don't talk to me right now. But I could say that was 5 years ago. Over time, and it's taken years for me and some of my friends to even communicate again. But like, I won't say that like we're just like thick as thieves, because, you know,
I was about to ask it.
Yeah, no, we're not thick as thieves. But like, I feel like we definitely have some sort of relationship where like, if I talk to you now, it's not like weird, or it's not like, you know, I don't know what to say, or is she good? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how you doing? Like, how the kids, how to, you know, like we can actually like talk and have a real conversation. So I say all that to say, like, sometimes like it takes you losing people to like, you know, focus more on yourself, get yourself together, and like, if it's meant to come back around, then it will come back around. That goes for anybody in your life, you know? So don't ever be afraid to like cut somebody off, or like, you know, be by yourself. Cause
I feel like that happens though. I do feel like our friendships take well, our mental health takes a toll on our friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, as you get older, you know what I'm saying, we have responsibilities, we got things in life, you know, just life in general. When you get older, it's not like we're kids anymore, especially when they're friends that you've been friends with for a long time. And, you know, life happens. Like, at the time that me and my friends stopped talking, you know, I was having a lot of highs in my life. Like, from 2017 to 2019, you know, I was pregnant, so we doing gender reveals, baby showers, and then a year later I'm experiencing my first Mother's Day, and I got engaged on that day, and that was my son's first birthday. So I was experiencing a whole lot of highs. And then at the end of the year, you know, where she kind of ghosted me, you know what I'm saying? So I was like confused, because I was like, why are we going through all of this stuff, you know, together? And even though during that time, you know, I do feel like I kind of put my friends on the back burner, but not in the sense to where, you know, I was just like, I'm gonna go nowhere, do nothing with them, you know, I don't talk to them and stuff like that. It was just, a lot was happening. I was starting a business, and, you know, just transitioning from a 9-to-5 into entrepreneurship. Like, a lot was happening in my life. And so when, you know, I can kind of see that maybe she did feel a little bit unappreciated or something as a friend. I don't know. But at the same time, you know, when you going through life, you know what I'm saying, and as you get older, friendships evolve. And sometimes you gotta understand that, like, it's not us 24/7 no more as friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, when in college, it was 24/7. That's all we had was school and each other. You know, but when you get older, you got work, you got responsibilities, you got goals, you got things that you have to accomplish. So it's kind of hard to be like buddy all the time with your friends. And I feel like that literally takes a toll, like, on friendships.
I think when it comes to friendships, we really don't communicate the best. I think we just, this may sound weird, but we just be being friends. Like, it's really surface level until it's a problem. Like, when it's a problem, we really don't know how to have that kind of conversation. It's weird, it's awkward for me.
Yeah, it most definitely is weird and awkward. And like you were saying earlier, I don't like confrontation either. Like, I don't like confrontation, so I'm not the one to, like, push the issue, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be like, all right, we don't talk about it, I don't talk about it either. Like, you know, because I don't like to have those hard conversations. I know that's I know that about myself. I'm not gonna say it's a flaw. It can be a flaw, but but you know, I be feeling like I got too much going on right here.
Yeah. Just like, you know, we go to the gym to get in better physical health and like get this body and do whatever. Like, it takes mental training too. And like, having hard conversations is just one way to train yourself mentally to be able to, you know, toughen up, you know, like, and have some thick skin and like get through some things that, like, because a lot of times, like, once you have the conversation, it's just like, it really was nice.
It really wasn't. Like,
I did all of this for nothing.
You make up all the stories in your mind on how it's gonna play out, and it never turns out that way.
Anxiety.
They be trying to control the issue, the narrative.
Exactly.
Yep, trying to have control, and when you don't have control, that anxiety plays.
It's slow. In your mind.
And you know, like, one thing I also tell myself, it's so funny, like, these last few years post, like, sad Leah, like, I have learned so much. It's not funny, y'all, for real, but like, for real, like,
you can laugh because it wasn't what it is, but that shit funny now.
But like, post sad Leah, it's just so many things, like, so many lessons that I've learned. And like, one of them is, like, you know, while we're talking about like the hard conversations and stuff, like, I tell my cousin this, like, you gotta just like speak your piece and not be afraid of what the outcome is. As long as you say things from the heart, you say things succinctly, and you say things respectfully. However that person takes it, that's not on you.
It's really not.
It's not, because I didn't disrespect you. I didn't give you this long, drawn out, like, well, this is how I feel. I didn't add the extra. I told you, hey, this is what it did. This is what you did. This is how it made me feel. And this is what I hope we can accomplish from this conversation. And like, however it goes after that is not on you, you know?
Yep. That's exactly it.
And that brings me comfort, because Y'all not about to stress me out.
Hello.
Y'all just
I can't worry about it.
And it's a beautiful journey too once you go through all of that. Cause like I said, and I tell Keandra all the time, I felt like before I had my son, like I feel like I didn't come into realization about life or about my mental health,
really
about
did.
anything until after I had my baby. And so I tell her all the time, like before I had him, I felt like I lived in this ignorant, blissful bubble, like to myself. And then after I had him, it popped. And it was just like boom, life. I know why that is. It's like I said before, when you have kids, it makes you face a lot of things because you have somebody that just depending on you and that you are responsible for it. So it makes you look at life from a different point of view. I was saying how it's a beautiful thing to like go through that transformation, that journey, and like to look back on it and be like, wow, like I came from this to this. That goes back to the self-reflecting, you know, and I look at myself sometimes and be like, girl, you did that, girl. Like, girl,
you said that to me yesterday. I was like, oh, I did do that.
Yeah, I did.
I have to self-reflect every day because I like to do that, honestly.
I really do, because it makes me feel better about myself. Because I get so caught up in the what's next, and when I do that, that's what makes me spiral into like anxiety attacks and depressions and stuff, because I feel like I'm not where I want to be. But look how far you've come, you know, and that's one thing that really, really keeps me grounded.
So how do you self-reflect? Do you just talk about it? Do you write about it? What do you do? Let the people know.
I talk about it. I told you I talk to myself every day. I just talk about it.
So it's just about your day or about what?
My life. So every time I get in a situation, say for instance, if today I was feeling down, like, you know how I get when I'm on the MacBook and stuff, like working out, or, you know, and I just get down. Or I get to thinking like, man, I don't have the amount of money I want to have.
I gotta figure out how to get this money.
I gotta figure out how to get this money by tomorrow.
Like, not slow.
Like when I think about stuff like that, you know, and sometimes it put me in a funk, like an ugly mood. Or I just be thinking about like, man, I want to buy me a van, I dream home, or, you know, I want this out of life, I want this, and I want this, and I get to talking about all the things that I want. Sometimes it puts me in a funk. So I can sit here and just be like, man, like, a lot of people wish they was in my shoes. Like, I have to appreciate what I have for the simple fact of, like, 2019, you know, I was at a job that I hated, I was depressed, and all of that, and I took it upon myself to take that leap of faith into entrepreneurship. I figured out a way to replace my income with my in-home childcare. And then when the pandemic hit, I learned how to pivot again and started braiding full time, because that was a skill that I was good at. And that's my full-time income, and I live off of that. And a lot of people can't say that they did that. And it's not to put anybody else down, but, you know, like, it's people out here working a 9 to 5 and want to be a full-time entrepreneur, and I'm living that life, and there's people that look up to me, and there's people that tell me these things, you know what I'm saying? And like the apartment I used to live in was an old apartment that was halfway renovated. It didn't even have lights in the bedrooms and stuff like that. You had to buy a lamp and stuff like that. And now I live somewhere, and now
I'm laughing at the way you tell the story.
But you know, like, it's little things like that that I try to find appreciation for, because now I live in an apartment that got lights and ceiling fans.
You be reflecting to the little details, baby.
Yes, because it's the little things, it's the little things that you don't appreciate in life, and when you do have them, you need to appreciate them.
No, you never,
like, literally.
So that gratitude, like, that'll humble you.
Like my car outside, I told you I want a new car so bad, but my car get me from A to B, and like I said earlier, I used to drive a little gold Camry hoopty that was a 1995 or 6 or whatever it was, you know? Yeah.
I remember that car.
That car used to quit on me, need a new radiator, tire used to go flat, like everything used to happen with that car.
But that Honda outside gon' outlive you.
Okay, my Honda done gave me no problems. I love my Honda.
Me too.
Bro, that thing to wheels fall out, literally. But yeah, that's just, I just sit in those spaces sometimes and just be like, you prayed for times like this, so you need to appreciate it.
For sure, for sure. And that's like, I feel like what I have to remind myself of, because, like, you know, like, I live alone, I just got this new job, honey, I'm fine as hell, like, you know, it's just, it's, the list goes on. I have, all my family still is living, you know, near me too. Like, it takes me 15 minutes to get to my own house. So it's like, you know, that, those little things, like, the fact that, you know, I don't know, you say the little things like the lights in your house, like the fact that, you know, I even still have a car, right? Because my car is old. I drive a 2014. Like, it's about to be 10 years old here coming up soon, you know, like, to even just the fact that, like, I can go to the store and buy food. Like, I can go to the store right now. If I say I think I want crab legs and steak for dinner, I can go buy that at the store and make that. Or I can go to like SDK or, you know, one of these little steakhouses and go get that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people don't have that option, you know? Like, some people don't even have the option to go buy themselves a pack of noodles because they don't have that. So I really have to be grateful, because yeah, like, that'll humble you and like get your spirits up real fast.
No, seriously, it really does. Looking back on where you were and where you are now, even if you just look at your mental state, like I said, even if you feel like you haven't moved anywhere in life, look at your mental state. Look at how you thinking positive. Look at how you working towards something. Because if you don't change your mindset to get out of that dark place, you know, you will stay there forever.
Change your mind, change your world.
Exactly.
So, before this find out, what is something that you all can like give to people if they are dealing with anything as far as mental issues, depression or anxiety? Like, what's some advice that you all can give to people if they're dealing with those things?
I feel like everything I'm gonna say is just gonna sound so cliche, but
but
things are cliche because they're true. That's the thing. Like I said earlier, like, find you something that makes you happy. Like, don't even focus on, and I have to bring this up because we live in a money hungry culture. Like, don't try to do something because you think it's gonna get you some money. Like, I mean, if you need a hustle, you need a hustle, and like, that's just what it is, period. But I do think that the two should be separate. Like, if you want to do something that makes you happy and it makes you money, sure. But, like, don't let that be the first thing that comes to mind. Like, I got to get some money. Like, no, focus on, like, is this going to make me happy? You know? Because for me personally, like I said earlier, like, I just do a lot better when I feel good, when I'm happy. You know? If I'm going to the gym and I'm working out, I'm not getting no money off of that, but I do that because I need to do that. You know, it makes me happy, and it's a domino effect. You start one thing, like you said earlier, you pick up one piece of clothing off the floor, it's like, well, I might as well get this pile over here, and while I'm at it, I might as well vacuum and then go, you know, like, it's a domino effect. And so, you know, you can either go down a slippery slope of being sad and feeling sorry, you know, for yourself or your situation, or you can go down a slippery slope of, you know, let me, like you said, pick up this piece of clothing, or let me, you know, let me take a shower. Let me, like, you just take one step. Even if you don't feel like it, like, just try. And, like, I used to hate when people said that to me, because it's just like,
that's not what you want to hear.
That's not what you want to hear, but it's true. Like, it's true.
Just like Leah said, my advice would be just choose happiness.